As the century came to an end, Toronto, the megacity, was born. At 2.5 million, it was now the 5th largest city in North America. It was also Hollywood North and a major theatre centre. The movie industry came to town in force in the 1980s and has continued to flourish. Toronto's streets and streetscapes could pass for just about anywhere. Academy Award winners like Chicago were shot in the brick lanes of the Gooderham distillery yards. For the theatre scenes, the Chicago producers chose the elegant Elgin Winter Garden Theatre Centre, restored spectacularly in the 1980s by the provincial government.
The architecture of this building is really on the interior. There's a very fine terracotta facade on Yonge Street, but on the interior you have an amazing array of lavish finishes, particularly imitation finishes, which we don't see in modern architecture today. Things like scagliola, a kind of imitation marble technique, gilding, faux finished paint techniques, as well as scenographic painting in the Winter Garden Theatre, where various garden themes and animals are painted right onto the walls. Structural columns become tree trunks. The ceiling is made of beech leaves, that sort of thing. This theatre complex was built in 1913 by Marcus Lowe, and what's unusual about it is its double-decker feature. It's the last surviving double-decker theatre in the world by means of stairs. So the actors could actually appear simultaneously in productions upstairs and downstairs with staggered acts.
The Winter Garden closed in 1928, and the Lower Elgin Theatre became a cinema. When the big restoration began, it was like opening a time capsule.
We embarked on a restoration program to restore the Elgin Theatre to its original early 20th century appearance, and to really clean and conserve the Winter Garden Theatre, which had survived all these years, and to put them both into use as venues for commercial film production, for commercial theatre production. One of the major discoveries was a series of vaudeville flats, 110 vaudeville flats that were found in the backstage area of the Winter Garden Theatre. This is the largest collection of vaudeville-era flats in the world. One of the most interesting structural aspects of this theatre is that you have two enormous clear-story spaces stacked one on top of the other. So in between, above the dome of the Elgin Theatre, you actually have a space where you can see the trusses that span from wall to wall and support the Winter Garden Theatre above.
The two theatres have attracted big stage hits like Cats and Tommy, and are also used by the Toronto International Film Festival to screen movies. West along King Street, the Mirvish family was spending its own money on the Princess of Wales Theatre, next door to their old gem, the Royal Alexandra. Ed Mirvish had started out as a haberdasher up on Bloor Street, and the money made from his colourful Honest Ed store was ploughed back into restaurants and theatres on King Street, including the acclaimed Royal Alex.
Well, when I first bought the theatre, they were going to throw it down and make a parking lot because they could not get the shows. But actually, actors find this theatre very attractive. It's a good showcase for the performer, and it's good for the audience.
Toronto, as a cultural capital of Canada, was further strengthened with the construction of a new home for the ballet and opera companies on University Avenue in 2006. Meantime, the venerable Royal Ontario Museum was seizing the limelight with a stunning addition known simply as the Crystal. The Art Gallery of Ontario, begun in 1900, reopened after a huge renovation, assuring its rank as one of North America's largest and finest art galleries. And an unusual museum was set up by Sonia Barter to honor the shoe industry, created by her husband Thomas. Over the years, Toronto has made its mark with the world-famous and child-friendly Ontario Science Centre, as well as its sprawling and animal-friendly Metro Zoo. For more information, visit our website on topoftheworld.net.